Oh, also, I'll play a little. We're live now, by the way. Also, I'll play a little intro music. When I play the intro music, do not speak because everything's recorded through the mics because they're live. And I don't want that showing up during the intro. And then same with the outro. Jenny and I will do a little banter in the beginning, and then we'll thank our sponsor, Miles Communications. And then we'll introduce the two of you, and then we'll just have a conversation. Cool?
Sounds good.
These go about 20 minutes.
Oh, good. Simple.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long. All right, we're going live on Instagram. We have millions of viewers already. Actually, we're at 0, so let's give it a second. No, I kid. Are you ready, Jenny?
Yep.
You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest podcast on the planet Earth. That's right, folks. The Grow Clinton podcast brought to you by Grow Clinton, a small nonprofit located in Clinton, Iowa, on the eastern side of the great state of Iowa, right along the mighty Mississippi, where we focus on economic development, community development, and tourism. As always, I am your host, Andy Sokolovich, for today's show. Joined in the studio by Jenny Home from our office. Jenny, what's happening?
What number of podcast are we at right
84.
now? Oh,
84.
We got to get our tuxedos ready.
Yeah, episode 100. We're going to be wearing, I'll be wearing a tux. You don't have to wear a tux.
I'll wear something sparkly.
Okay, well, we know you have that.
I have it.
You know you have that.
Yes, for definite.
Sometimes you're dressed up and you're sparkling from head to toe.
That's right.
Like a fishing lure. All righty. So this is Grow Clinton. The other day I got a call and I answered. I said, "Thank you for calling Grow Clinton. This is Andy. How may I help you?" And the young lady said, is this Bro Clinton?
Bro Clinton. I
thought, I love that. We should probably just go with that instead. Bro Clinton.
Bro Clinton. And you know what? I had somebody actually say to me, you know how you say Insta for Instagram? Or
Yeah. Because I'm hip.
You are the hippest.
Yeah.
Mm. Somebody actually called us the Grow.
The Grow.
The Grow.
Ooh, I like that too.
I kind of like that. Man.
All right. So you know what I like too, Jenny?
What?
Can't get enough of it. High-speed fiber internet. That's right, folks. Grow Clinton is powered by Miles Communications. We are their number one user probably with this podcast.
So. Yeah.
I tell you what, we take up a lot of bandwidth. But no, Miles Communications located in Miles, Iowa. Check them out for all your high-speed internet needs. MilesTelephone.com. Again, MilesTelephone.com, offering television. And if you want a landline, they got you. Telephone services. MilesTelephone.com. Really excited about today's guest, Jenny.
I know I am too. Prepare. Everybody prepare to be fascinated.
Prepared. Were you guys doing magic tricks?
It's kind of.
Absolutely.
Some of this.
Very cool.
Some of this is like magic. I had to write it down.
Did you write it down?
I did because it's so cool.
So we have Kathee and Rachel in the studio today from Lynnway Counseling, located right here in Clinton, Iowa. Ladies, how's it going?
Not too bad. Fabulous.
Going fabulous. Not too bad. You got a coffee there. You're ready to rock and roll?
Absolutely.
So tell me about Lynnway Counseling. First, before we get into the deep dive of what you guys do here in Clinton, how did this all start? Why did you guys get into the biz by yourself doing the counseling stuff here in Clinton in the old Armory building? Located at, what's your address again?
215 6th Avenue South.
215 6th Avenue South, Suite 2. As soon as you walk in, you can't miss them. So what's happening? What's going on? Give me the story.
All right. I'm going to jump in.
Because
you brought up something very important, which is the counseling thing. That's half of what we have going on because I am the prescriber. I'm a nurse practitioner who specializes in behavioral health. So I'm certified to do so. So we have a perfect little team situation going on where we have all of the therapy component, which is a basis for everything, and the supplemental support of medication. So that's kind of where that's at. It's a game where both sides are covered because you get better. All the evidence shows when you have both working together.
Sure.
So I looked up your website, which everybody go to it.
What is
There's
it? Lynnwaycounseling.com.
Wow.
You're
good
on
job,
it.
guys.
Yeah.
Mm.
So many letters behind both of your names, which
Very
means
small.
there's tons and tons of experience and training. So tell us a little bit about that.
Who's starting?
You
Me?
Why not?
you spoke first.
Okay. I actually was a therapist here in Clinton at Bridgeview for 14 and a half years before going into a private practice and deciding that I would just like to do it on my own. And Rachel?
So yeah, I started. Gonna give away my age a little bit. A long time ago, I did other things. I did a little stint in the military. I ran a bookstore for a while, and I found myself in a situation where I just needed to change and revamp. And I'd always wanted to be a nurse, so that's where I started. I became a registered nurse first and went into several different areas of nursing and found something in common with all of them, which is mental health
Mhm.
and the need to serve in mental health, especially people that have low access. So I went back to school and became a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, board certified. That's all those letters.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And we had met at a previous work situation where we both felt that we would have better opportunities to help ourselves and the community by working together to do this on our own.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
And I must
Absolutely.
say, you're
Yes.
located again in the old Armory building here in Clinton. You two have done tremendous with the look and the feel of the office. It is so welcoming.
Thank you.
And, you know,
Thanks.
it may not sound like a big thing, but it's a big deal to walk into a
You-
place like that, seeking mental health
Mhm.
guidance and assistance and care and feel welcomed.
You know, we went in to do the spotlight video for members. We do spotlight video at the access level. And we went in and it was so cozy. It was like Annie and I felt like we could just crawl up on the
Easily could
couches
have
and
taken a nap.
just start talking, have some popcorn and relax. And it was just, it's beautiful.
And the
Thank
vast majority of that, was Kathy's doing. She has a really good eye for how to make everything look really great. And I've heard nothing but compliments from
Oh, yeah.
people that are in there for the first time,
Yeah.
just really enjoying being in there, things to look at, just feeling comfortable. And it's really kind of a nice location. We are one of the first offices when you go into the building, which I think is really nice too. People aren't searching the whole building to look for us.
Yeah.
Big sign on the door. You can't miss it.
Big
Yeah.
sign on the door.
Yep.
You can't miss it. Let's talk about the stigma of mental health and how we overcome that. And your words of wisdom or advice to somebody who has yet to seek professional care for their own mental health and well-being.
I think that the stigma has gone down an awful lot since COVID. During COVID, we had people that had never sought mental health treatment before, and they were oftentimes getting help from people that had long struggled with mental health. So that's really done a lot. And the younger generation is really very good about how they view mental health. They talk about it, and it's really cute. I'll have younger women come in and talk to me about some new guy they're dating or something,
Mhm.
and they'll say he's really great. He's been through therapy. He's worked on
Oh.
himself. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's gotten a lot.
He's
better.
emotionally accessible,
They
shares
all
how
the
he's
words.
feeling.
Well, see,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, I'm Gen X. You don't get that with those people, and it's a struggle. You know, I think it's so cool that now people see it as you go to get a tune-up to get,
Yes.
like you would for your body. You check up for that. You find a problem, you'll take care of it.
Yes.
And I see people that come in my age-ish group, and they'll tell you that they grew up never thinking that it was okay. That you
Mhm.
always, shove things under the carpet,
Mhm.
forget about it, and
Yeah.
move on. And there is more than ever an acceptance. Or, I've found too that primary cares are more willing to talk to patients about seeking support for problems. And that's really important too. They don't like to, in general, prescribe medications that are out of their purview. So sending them to a specialist to manage the other situations works really well. And sometimes I'm referring to Kathee, and oftentimes she's referring her clients to me that need that extra part that might be missing too. So kind of see the people that are raised, that are younger, that feel comfortable when they have problems going for that tune-up.
Mhm.
And then also the first time folks that finally realize I am not having a good quality of life. And what could I be doing different?
Right. So what's the difference between the services between the two of you in your experience?
Well, I provide therapy and she provides the medication services.
Okay.
So I'm the one you get to come and talk to. And
So, yeah, we both are required to study different types of therapy approaches. But she specializes in those. I am familiar with them. I maybe in real cursory bits will manage that side, but the in-depth actual practice into teaching, learning, and practicing happens with Kathee. And then my part of it is I can assess the medical side of things that go hand in hand with the diagnosing, which she also does the diagnosing. We use the same criteria based on different issues with clients. Are they diabetic? Do they have autoimmune issues? Do we have blood pressure problems to worry about? And I specialize in all the medications, how they work together, how they might not work together, what they treat. And that's my part of it.
Okay. So then when I'm looking at the website, I was just stunned by the different types of therapy that you have. So I've written some of them down. Dialectical Behavior Therapy. What is that?
yeah, I previously I taught a STEPS group, which is a treatment program for people with emotional intensity or borderline personality disorder. That's a way to learn to manage and regulate your emotions, because people with that particular diagnosis, they feel things very strongly, and sometimes they respond to those feelings in a pretty extreme way that can cause them problems. So it's a system. I think it's a 16-week program where you're working with people on how to recognize their triggers, recognizing their thinking filters, and learning other ways to process their thoughts, how they look at things, and how to respond when they're feeling intense.
Wow.
And that comes based from so many historic environmental histories with patients that bring them to the point with this is how they interact with the world around them. So she has a big part in kind of resolving, working with sometimes radical acceptance, understanding you may not be okay with some of the things that have happened in the past, but she helps work you through those situations to where when something happens, you are not interacting with the world around you in a way that's going to get you hurt, someone else hurt, get you in trouble. You're going to process and feel better about how you work with the world around you, which is very difficult.
Well said. Keep going.
Oh, very well
Thank
said.
you.
That
Thank you.
is. And that just proves that it's mental health is the same as, like you would say your biological health, because if you had cancer, you have to go in for a treatment plan. And that's what it is. And it's so different for everybody.
Absolutely. And they complement so well, because she may be working with somebody doing DBT with these kinds of concerns we just talked about, and they may have symptoms that medications that I can provide, like let's say aripiprazole, which is also Abilify, can be prescribed to help aid in the extremes of emotions. It really helps with agitation, people that are prone to that. And working together, that's just one of those examples where they complement really well.
Yeah. So if somebody's seeing their primary care provider and they're interested in your services, what does that look like? They just request a referral?
They can request a referral, or they can simply give us a call.
Okay. Very good.
Being new, we're typically only booked out maybe a week or two at this point.
Wow.
Okay.
So you can get in pretty quickly.
It's a long game. I mean, I myself, I'll be very transparent on this podcast because we're all here. I have some mental health concerns that stem part of my military service, but way before that as well. I think it's just, it was one of those things where I feel like I've always been impacted and never knew how to describe it as a youth. Even as an adult, it's very hard to put words into how you're feeling, because people just automatically say, why are you sad? What's bugging you? You got to snap out of that funk. And it's not that easy.
It isn't. And when you are from, Andy, of course, is nowhere as old as I am. But when you
Catching up.
When you are from a generation or generations where you get kind of closed off when you open up about stuff like that. And people might throw a phrase, oh, you got this. You get a phrase at you, you got this, keep the faith and all that. And you're like, I don't know what I got. Can't do this.
Well,
You know?
those things are not very helpful, right?
No.
Right off the bat.
No.
They're trying, though.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
necessarily. They
True.
are too.
They're
It's usually very
Well-intentioned,
innocent, but
yeah.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. But that doesn't really get you too far. Sometimes the most important thing to be doing is listening,
Right.
Yes.
and then you can
Absolutely.
help after that, because a lot of people don't feel heard.
Yeah, you don't want to
Yeah,
be
right.
me personally, and I don't know if this is everybody. I do not want to be lectured to. I
Right.
don't want somebody to say, you have a good job, you have a beautiful family, your future outlook is just amazing. You have a roof over your head. You're not worried about where your next meal is coming from. I already understand all that.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's something in your head that tells you differently.
Right.
And often when it becomes severe, like for instance, if I feel like I'm in a very dark place, somebody could ask me what 2 + 2 is, and I would probably struggle to come up with the answer, just because you are so consumed by that little voice inside your head that's telling you different, that's telling you that you don't have it all together. And the sky is, I always call, like tell my wife, I call it the Chicken Little, because it's like the sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And that's all you can concentrate on. And really for me, what's helped me substantially is one, being able to share what I'm feeling, void of any kind of criticism or negative judgment. And two, medication.
Absolutely.
Both have been very, very helpful. And then just consistent care over time.
And wouldn't you agree that that is the proof right there,
Mhm.
that it's physiological and biological, just like any other
It is.
health issue? I don't know. I get why people, felt the way they did in the past, but I think we have enough proof now. I think you'd agree
Mhm.
that this is a biological problem
is.
sometimes. Yeah.
It,
Most of the time.
And it's usually a
Yeah.
combination.
Right.
When I talk about schizophrenia, it's very much genetically linked.
Mhm.
However, there are people that will go their whole lives and never have a schizophrenic break. What makes those folks different from the ones that do is there are environmental triggers, situations and whatnot that happen at peak vulnerability times that bring that biology, that nature and nurture thing to head together. And that's when that happens often for people. And that rebuilding of that pathway, those changes are actually physiological. So what Kathee does over time does actually change the pathways in your brain, just like medication does, to help them function the way they should.
What the medication does essentially is it restores for anxiety and depression. Anyway, which is what you were describing there. Anxiety is when a person experiences too much stress or trauma, it causes the brain to release a reduced number of neurotransmitters like your dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, and that reduction there, it aids in people, not aids. That's what contributes to people having those irrational thought processes. They think that they're not doing as well as they are, that people would be better off without them, that they're not good enough in some way or another. And the medications restores that so that therapy is more effective.
And this is why you need professionals.
Yes.
Right here. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody telling you you'll get over it. Act happy.
Yeah. When it comes to mental
it's
health,
hard.
just leave WebMD alone.
Oh my gosh.
Go and seek a professional.
Dr. Google. Mhm.
I do want to mention that a lot of people have at one point or another come to me and been worried about if they get a diagnosis, am I tied to medication forever? And that is not
No.
the case.
No.
There are recommendations that are done through studies that suggest if you have depression and you get relieved of your symptoms and you're in remission, you should hang out on those drugs for a good year afterwards. And then after that, your risk of backsliding into that type of thinking again is reduced significantly, and you may never need that help again. You may just need it temporarily. There are other people that need support throughout and a lot of adjustments. A lot of that has to do with your biology too and your environment, what happens in your life. And there's some people that just need to intermittently check in and do their tune-up kind of work. So kind of a variety.
Well, again, we're talking to Rachel and Kathee from Lynnway Counseling, located right here in Clinton, Iowa. Be sure to check them out. Again, lynnwaycounseling.com. If you're struggling with mental health, if you're concerned about your own well-being, please do reach out and consider their services because they're the experts, right?
Experts.
Yes.
I called you guys experts.
I'm okay with that. I do have to mention one thing.
What's that?
988.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
the suicide hotline.
Right.
Yes, that's always if you're ever in a bad spot. It's 3:00 in the morning, and you need to talk to someone directly, someone who's generally in the area. Use that if nothing else.
Mhm.
If you can't get a hold of the right person soon enough.
Yeah, beautiful.
Mhm.
Is there anything else you want to share with our listeners?
What do you think?
I don't know. We'd love to see you. I'm so happy
Yeah.
to be back
Absolutely.
in Clinton. And
Yeah.
As we
Yeah,
said in the
me too.
video we created, do not put your mental health on the back burner.
Absolutely.
Your success is their success over at Lynnway Counseling. So be sure to check them out. Again, lynnwaycounseling.com. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
thank you.
Jenny, what you got going on the rest of the week? Big plan.
my
Oh,
gosh.
it's Friday.
It's Friday.
I forgot all about that.
Do you want to see what I got planned?
Snoresville.
Yeah, I'm going to rest.
Yeah,
I'm going to
good.
rest. How about you? Just rest?
I'm going to rest. I'm going to relax. My daughter is going to a birthday party tomorrow in Bettendorf,
Oh, boy.
and my wife is carpooling some kids.
Mm.
They're going to that Iron Tea, the little golf spot there in Bettendorf.
cool.
So she's really excited about that. Otherwise, just chilling. We're going to have some warmer weather.
I love it.
I think it's going to be in the 40s, which is nice.
Love
I
it.
walked out after lunch in my back porch, and I could hear the dripping coming off the gutter as the water was melting, or the ice was melting.
So that sounded beautiful. And for those who do not
Yeah.
know, Andy is a big outdoor. I said, what would be your dream vacation? And he said, Appalachian Trail. The whole
I love to
thing.
do the whole AT.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I have way too much knowledge on regarding the
do?
Appalachian Trail. I have books, videos.
Wow.
I listen to a lot of podcasts, watch a ton of YouTube.
Yeah.
Do not ask me. Well, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole because it's
Do
on a
it.
podcast.
Do it.
But here's the deal: is that to me, being outside is so therapeutic.
Oh,
Second
yeah.
It just really
Yeah.
is, and just being in touch with nature, being in tune with your surroundings, not having to hear the hustle and bustle of everyday life, car horns,
Mhm.
like when the trucks hit their Jake brakes coming down here.
Vitamin D.
Yeah.
Vitamin D, soaking it up.
Yeah.
Even when it's sunny out, like a day like today, I like to go out and just hang out by the railing and just
Yeah.
soak it up. But to me, I just think that would be the ultimate experience to backpack the Appalachian Trail. I'm a huge outdoorsman, and this is something I've always wanted to do.
Okay, so here's something that I love about Andy, and I think you guys would
Does
probably
anybody want to sponsor me? Because I got to leave for 4.5 months.
This is really important to mental health too. I mean, Andy is engaged in life, and
Yeah.
sometimes that can be hard, but a lot of times I love that about somebody. If they're engaged in life, they have interests, they have ideas. This whole podcast room designed by Andy. I mean, that
That's why
kind of
you
stuff
can-
is it's great for your mental health to be able to
Yes,
out and
it is.
find interests in things.
Yeah.
You know,
Which, by the way, is why the office looks so nice, because I love playing in pretty things.
Yeah.
At back office, I totally repainted it, got
Yeah,
different
good for you.
furniture because it's fun. I like it. But
Good for you.
talking
Gotta
about
find-
outdoors, you got to go to
Yeah.
the beach. That's how I take care of my mental health.
I'm a mountain guy.
he's a
I
mountain
know.
man.
I
Yeah,
love
try
the
it.
mountains.
And
I've
when-
dealt with the beach.
Dealt
It's-
with.
Dealt with it.
My
Right,
wife
yeah.
loves it. We went to Jamaica not too long ago.
Ooh,
She
me
loves
too.
laying on the beach and
Yeah.
sun goddess. And I just, you can put me in a log cabin somewhere in the middle of nowhere with a cup of coffee. I can come out and just scratch my chest there and take a big deep breath of that mountain air. I think that would be amazing.
Okay, I'm already mad at you because I know I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night laughing because you just said dealt with the beach.
I know, yeah,
I
what
deal
is
with
that?
it. I deal with
Deal
it.
with
I dealt with the beach.
All right, everybody.
Jeez.
Before this
I
gets
know.
way out of control, we're going to close it out. Jenny, you have an amazing weekend.
You too.
Kathee, Rachel, you too. Okay.
You too.
See you, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.